Let's have a look. So last session, your party set an ambush for Kulgar, the leader of the Orcs of Jakrash. A combat ensued featuring around 30 of his followers. Very hard fought combat. We got very close at one point to looking like it could have seen your party defeated. I think 3 out of the 5 of you. No, I think 4 didn't.
4
4
out
get
of
knocked
5 were dead
unconscious
in
at
the
one
last
point or
round.
another. Yeah.
Alan was the last man standing.
Was there not a point
Love
where
Alan.
3 out of 5 of us were actually unconscious at the same time?
Oh, 4 of you.
4 out of 5 of us were unconscious at the end of the combat.
Yeah.
El was the last one left alive.
Wow.
It was great.
Yeah.
So looked pretty dangerous at one point before Nyx was able to distract Kulgar and pull his attention away, setting up an opportunity for Elwyn to nail a headshot and drop the orc. As he did so, the adamantine longsword with which he had been fighting dropped to the ground, and as it fell, changed shape into a small ring, quite likely the one you came here to Jakrash to find. And I guess, because I've leveled you all up, you've all got more health points than you had before. But technically, you are fresh out of a battle and rather worse for wear. I think we literally closed off where we were, so I guess who's brave enough to pick up the ring?
Alan was the only one that sort of turned from a sword to a ring, right? Because everyone else was out of it.
No. You actually you brought John and Arthur back to consciousness before you made the attack on your turn.
Ah, okay.
You did a heal, then took your attacks. Yeah.
So, is anyone still unconscious?
Everyone's conscious at this point. Yeah.
I have, a relatively decent amount of lay on hands healing, and I will distribute it amongst everyone to kind of put them back on their feet a little bit.
I would do the same with the arcane healing that I've got, which is nowhere near like yours.
So I think I've got 55 points if we're going. We haven't got our leveled up stuff. 55 points of healing.
I think I was out of spells at that point.
Yeah,
I'm kind of assuming we're going to get. We will get.
I think we're going to take
a
long rest.
Yeah, I wouldn't swear on that.
But just for flavour, I go around and heal up people, including giving 5 hit points to the warg because he's badly injured.
Can I poke the ring with an arrowhead?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I poke it a little bit.
It's over here, isn't it?
Until Artir comes over and tells me to stop.
I will come over if you start poking it. And
before we get
there
too crazy in that, I would like to use magic awareness to identify any magic stuff around that isn't us.
Mm-hmm.
The ring.
So is there anything other than the ring?
No, there is not.
So he doesn't have anything else magical on him?
No.
Cool.
Maybe the ring gets jealous.
Possibly. Would you like me to pick up the ring?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet.
Probably safest.
Well, yeah.
Elwyn's weak-minded. He may get corrupted easily.
I want to have a look at it.
I'm happy for you to have a look at it, but let's avoid putting hands on it. I will again use a bit of fabric to pick up the ring from the ground, silently mumbling a prayer to Lathander as I do, praying to him and, quite frankly, any other god that will listen to not let this fucking thing do anything to me as I pick it up.
You pick it up. The ring does nothing to you. It looks, as you look at it now, based off your knowledge of what you knew of the ring and the fact that you came here and it's no big leap. It looks very similar to the ring that you encountered in Shate. It's this sort of standard sized ring. Even as you look at it now, it almost looks like it is too small to fit round one of Kulgar's fingers. The orcs. This looks like it's sort of man sized. Has a slight sort of green tinge to the metal. and you can see just on the sort of signet of it, there is the symbol of a crown with a sword through it.
So that was going to be my first question, because Kulga's sword was bright silver, wasn't it?
It was.
But the ring is the same kind of slightly greeny metal that the other one was, now that it's turned back.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything trying to reach out from that ring, do I, as I'm holding it?
No, I mean, if you know better in this moment, and you just found this on the floor, it just seems like a ring.
Yeah, you wouldn't even necessarily say it was magical until you maybe touched it with your actual hand, I guess.
Yeah. There's certainly nothing overtly unique about it, at least for in the moment you pick it up.
I'm gonna burn a divine sense.
Okay.
I'm not expecting anything, but just in case, nothing within 60 feet, I'm hoping.
There is not.
Cool. I'll turn around to everyone, I guess. Fold the cloth over and I go, we agree that this is to be taken somewhere out of our hands, yes?
Fight fire with fire.
I cover the ring with the cloth. I will, because Carl's just said that. I go, oh, Carl, your warg, it's just judgment. I think it's hurt his foot or something. And see if he turns around.
Yeah, he'll glance around. He's not.
Yeah, I really quickly tuck the ring into a pouch. I'm not hiding it from anyone other than Carl. I'm happy to try and make a sleight of hand if you'd like me to.
Don't worry, Carl wouldn't have. He's happy he can get it off you. Back when we were with the temple, or wherever that place was, I identified the ring that was there. When I did that involve touching it?
It did.
That's what I thought.
You have to be in contact with the item to identify it. We've found that out before.
So I have touched one before, so okay, I'm not too worried about that.
Now, the question remains, where could we take this thing? Quite frankly, how the fuck do we get it there? Because we're currently in the middle of a swamp.
Needham's Grove?
Needham's Grove. Oh, Needham's Grove. Where's that? Sorry, that's not ringing a bell. I don't think I've been.
It's we talked about it with the Purblogs last night. It's the big.
Oh,
forest.
is that the big forest to the west of?
Yeah,
Griffinstill?
that contains your guy's wife. Apparently.
Oh, Shaunty. That's her domain, is it? Is that right, Shaunty?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where you ran into her.
We ran into a smug old lady. So yeah,
There was plenty of smug old lady's nostril, wasn't there?
Going off the description of smug old lady, does that ring a bell? Sound like Shaunty? I'm sure I'd have a much more elegant description in my brain. But
I imagine she's prettier when she's married to your guy. But
so if we were to take the ring there, we could entrust it to her.
I don't know, maybe.
Was this the same? This was the same lady who seemed quite keen to get the book off you when you were there, correct? I'm sure you've told me this.
Yeah.
And you refused.
Yeah.
What kind of an idiot would refuse to hand that book over? Jeez.
What to her?
To a clearly trustworthy god lady.
to a grumpy old lady.
Whoever made that decision must be a right muppet.
Well, not all of us is quite so trusted in the gods as you are.
I have trusted in the gods my entire life. I will trust in the gods the rest of my life, however long that may be. It's never steered me wrong once.
Well, what about this Hafaros god? Did you trust in him? Because he seems like quite a bad guy.
Specifically the
Always
new,
killing and what?
specifically the new gods and
Oh, I see.
my god.
So certain gods are alright, but other gods are not alright. And how does one determine which gods are the good gods and which gods are the bad gods?
Generally, the ones that want to eat people and end the world are the bad ones. And then the rest of them, if they don't do that, they're probably the good ones.
The
Oh,
rest,
right, so a little murdering's alright for a god, but not a lot of murdering.
Well, that
I mean-
depends entirely. I'm not sure if you can call it murdering. It depends entirely on who you're killing, doesn't it?
Well, exactly. There's a lot of people in the world, so if a god kills 1,000,000 people,
Depends on the million, doesn't it?
well, just exactly that's the question. But how do you determine?
Would you argue that we've just ambushed and murdered Kulga? Is that a bad thing?
Well, yeah, probably.
Is it?
I mean,
Was
it's
he a
definitely-
good? Was he a good person?
Oh, we didn't stop and ask him, did we? You only had to talk of one Furbolg and rumor and innuendo about whether he's a good guy or bad guy. You didn't know really, do you?
Okay, so are we bad people now?
Oh, we don't know.
Hmm.
I don't think it's binary.
You intrigue me, John. I
Why?
like conversation with you. You're fun. Just nice to have people's thoughts and them not be quite so, I don't know, binary.
Exactly. Nothing's binary really in this world. Not till we invent computers.
What's a computer?
Well, I don't know. Not been invented yet.
Ah,
you're very chipper, son boy.
Back a second. I've got to go grab dinner.
and you're not, Carl?
No,
Why?
I don't know. It seems to me that we've taken a powerful artifact off of one person, but now we've got the problem. We've got to do something with it. Doesn't feel like a victory. Feels like we very nearly died.
We did very nearly die.
If we had died, would it have mattered?
That's a question only the dead get the answer to. Don't trouble yourself with what might have happened, what might have mattered, Carl. What matters is we survived, we're here, and we have a job to do.
I dare say.
Gods, the gods still have plans for you yet, my friend. They're not
That's
done
what
with you.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Don't worry, I'll look out for you. Got your back.
Thought you were more interested in my soul.
No.
We can't rest here.
Agreed.
We need a sleep.
Should we wander into the forest and try and find some furbolgs? How far do you... I mean, how long were we waiting before the orcs arrived?
About 6-7 hours.
So the furbolgs potentially have 6-7 hours of movement
Yeah.
on us. But then they did seem a bit odd that they just showed up when we needed them.
I think we just wander for a bit and try and find some of the rest and then look for them.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Somewhere that doesn't smell of blood. Orcs.
yeah.
Would we have had rumours about the idea that furbolgs just turn up when people need them? I feel like that was a thing that was mentioned from Caristiona way back. Obviously, different characters. But I don't know whether I would have heard that as like a story, like a.
They were just rare, and
They certainly turned up to help her when she needed them, right?
They did, yeah.
They also showed up as soon as we started looking for them with, relatively good intentions when we were in this forest, right?
I'm not sure that Caristiona had good intentions.
I think she had good intentions, right? To
Yeah, I
not
know.
die.
And then
It was
she
the stuff.
turned
It was the stuff after that went wrong. But that was the Raven Queen.
evil Raven Queen.
Furbolgs work for the Raven Queen.
No. The Furballs are enemy of the Raven Queen because they did something unnatural.
Yeah, they went against life, didn't they? Well, not against life. They went against death, I guess.
That's how I perceived it, and I'm guessing that's how Ellen perceived it.
Yeah, I think that was basically the gist of it. Although the Raven Queen was also able to be convinced to go against her own rules in order to get her own benefit. So God's not infallible. Not that John knows any of this.
Yeah. While we've been sort of chatting, Carl's been kicking through the bits of orcs and those big black sun ogre things.
Mhm.
Not really looking for treasure, but I don't know, just looking for anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, nothing really. They have some weaponry on them, each of them, but nothing stands out particularly otherwise.
I grab a bunch of the bric-a-brac and assorted rubbish and shove it in my bag
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
later on.
Yep. Let's go. How long till it gets dark?
Hour or so, probably at most.
Let's put an hour between us and here.
I agree. Yeah.
What sort of general direction are you headed in? Elwyn previously was able to ascertain that you are sort of quite far into the east of Jakrash. Austria would be back towards the west. You haven't travelled far, particularly since you arrived in Jakrash, but where you have travelled so far is westwards.
How did we get to Crash again?
Magic teleport.
Yeah.
Right. Who teleported us?
That's how we're going to get out of here.
Unlike
As well.
Citadels.
Yeah.
People. Yeah, I think we're going to have to secure some kind of magic. That's why I'm hoping the Furbolgs might be able to help.
Oh, I see. How far away do you think we are from Austria?
When Elwyn was looking into it previously, obviously Elwyn wasn't able to get a particularly solid grasp, but you're probably somewhere on foot, probably somewhere in the range of sort of 12 to 16 days on foot.
A long time in a very dangerous country.
We're probably close to Elwyn's original home.
Oh, you born in Crash?
I was on the outskirts of Crescent, still area.
Yeah.
Like near the border?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then all your family were killed, weren't they?
Yeah, so it's just a graveyard now.
Apt.
I mean, way
Which
to
is
bring the
quickest-
mood down there, Carl. That's great.
Which is the saddest forest.
This is where I used to live. Oh yeah, then all your family were killed.
My house is probably still there.
You didn't happen to have any supply of teleportation scrolls in your house, did you?
No, I was a simple farmer then.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I can't do any sort of teleportation whatsoever because I feel like it's 5th level and I'm definitely not 5th levels.
Teleportation circle's 5th level, yeah, and
Yeah.
you need to be wizard or sorcerer, I think, to have it.
The rate we're going up levels. Come back tomorrow.
I feel like we just start walking in that direction. Hopefully, just
Yeah.
find the furbolgs.
let's walk in a direction. Carl, actually, at this moment, go what direction?
I'm gonna whatever direction the furbolgs walked off in. We just go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just you guys are just gonna keep heading westwards until nightfall.
We-
Then, yeah.
We walk for an hour, looking for somewhere to bed down. If somewhere appropriate shows up, then we'll stop there. If not, we'll just keep walking until that hour's up, and then just take whatever we've got.
Yeah, sorry, did the fireballs went west as well?
They did, yeah. They headed
Okay.
westwards,
Well,
yeah.
We're definitely going west then, because it's either we walk to Austria in 2 weeks, or we find the fireballs first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I get advantage where we're in a forest?
You do.
I'm not sure if I clicked it or not. I did try to click it, but nothing happened, so I just want to make sure that I haven't. No, I'll try again.
Well, it's going great.
Yeah.
Carl and the warg are not paying any attention
I
at
get
all.
a survival check from you, Mr. Nix. Nice.
Nick's got a +6 on survival.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's wily. Besides, when your gun explodes as often as his does, you probably need it.
Yeah.
I think it's like 2 combats in a row with no misfire, Cormac.
Yeah, 2.
Let's go. Yeah, cool. You guys travel for about an hour or so. Don't come across. You don't meet any furbolgs. You sort of head deeper into the forest, heading sort of westwards. It does get to nightfall. I guess you've got a choice of if you want to make camp for the night or continue on foot.
Yeah, we don't want to be wandering around the forest at night,
Actually,
especially in our still partially injured states that we're in. So,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
absolutely bed down for the night. Set up watches.
What form is Nick's in at the moment?
human.
Oh, I completely fucking forgot that Nyx was changing. Feel like that happened. It feels like ages ago, and I know it wasn't.
We know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I assume you're just in your normal human form again, Nix, right?
Yeah, I'm just regular. What you guys normally see me as.
Can you do animals or any form, or is it just people?
I think it's only people.
I'm going to suggest maybe you changeling into an orc form. Might be fit in a bit better in this surroundings. But I don't know if it's too much hard work for you. I don't know if it hurts or if it's tiring to do it.
No, it's not. It
You
doesn't
fly.
hurt.
Yeah, can you turn into like an owl?
I would say that I've never met anybody like you, but I wouldn't know.
I don't think I can turn into an owl, but I think I could probably turn into an orc.
You have to, whatever you change into has to have the same arrangement of limbs that you have.
Right. Okay. What if I was to have?
Oh, so you can't turn into a dog because a dog does not have 2 arms.
I mean, you are right. I don't think a dog has 4 arms either. To be fair, Charlie.
No, it does not have 4 arms.
Once we camp, Carl will set a fire. Probably a bigger one than we would normally bother with.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like we're not going to get attacked, he says. Because I think we've killed the biggest thing in the forest.
You'd hope that would mean, nothing's coming after us. Or there's nothing to come after us, but that feels like wishful thinking saying that.
And then once we're sat down, can I have a look at the ring?
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you to look at it as well, actually, if you don't mind.
Pass us the ring over. I want to see if it's any different from the other one.
Can I just I don't know, is it like an insight check? Does he seem to be saying that out of a place of... Bear in mind, obviously, I've heard the comment he made earlier of fight fire with fire. Does he seem to be saying that out of a place of genuine, like, want to help? Or is that coming from something more
It
sinister?
sounds, certainly even without a roll, it sounds like he's saying it in a resigned way. It sounds like he doesn't... I don't know. He's not looking forward to doing it. I'm not sure that helps.
I mean, I'll pull it out.
Make it-
And I'll go, yeah, come on over here, guys, if you want to have a look. And I'll pop it in front of me, on the grass in front of me,
Yeah, I'll have a look.
on that bit of cloth.
I'll make it clear that I'm interested in studying if it's got a mechanism to turn it into a sword or not, because I understand basic sort of making things smaller and bigger. I think I've got a spell for enlarge reduce. Do I have enlarge reduce? I do have enlarge reduce as a spell I can cast, but I've never like seen something shape shift quite so much material into from a ring into a sword.
I mean, that is not an uncommon kind of thing for a lot of magic items to do.
It would be a cool thing.
As I don't know what your experience with magic items is, John. I assume pretty decent. You're all about the magic items, right? So if you were to take my sword, for instance, which is magic, and pass it to someone a lot lower in stature than myself, like a halfling, you may find with a lot of magic items they will actually change their size.
Well,
So they are right?
like magical armor and that does fit
So
your
it's-
body, but it's not quite the same as that.
It's the same kind of idea, right?
Isn't the sword massive? Right? It was massive.
It
was a long
it was
sword, right?
Yeah, it was quite a large long sword. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's the same concept, right?
well, not
It's
really. 'Cause
the
it's also
items.
It's changing its basic sort of function as well.
It's
basic sort of
it's
essence.
changing how usable it is to the user. In a sense, really, isn't it? I'd assume Kulga, being the angry orc he is, had little use for fancy spellcraft.
Well, maybe like that. I suppose if you think about it, but now he's died, it's just gone back to a ring, and that's a bit different. 'Cause normally, if you think about like a sword or a magic piece of armor or what have you, it might change its shape and its form in order to be able to fit people of different statures and different shapes and what have you. But it's not quite the same as it changing from a ring to a sword and back again. If you see what I mean.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. No, it's certainly an odd case. It's not a common thing, but it is something that magic items can do. I suppose it's neat.
Magic items can do anything they like, really, can't they?
I know one that can do it.
I'm hesitant for people to be attempting to change its shape from the ring.
I'm not touching it. I'm just looking at it for now.
But even just thinking too much about it, I'm a little bit concerned because this is linked with quite a heavy influence. So just be careful, okay?
At some point, I'm going to try and pick up the cloth, not the ring, the cloth around the ring, so I can bring it closer to my face to look at.
Yeah.
I honestly think we are 5 or 6 steps beyond careful.
And study it, but other than that, I'm not going to do anything particular.
Carl will dig around in his pack for the pearl and the feather and an owl feather, and then once John's finished looking at it, he'll cough and I suppose I better get this over with and hold his hand out.
You sure you want to do this?
Did it to the last one, nothing happened.
True. What's the we need to have a signal. What's the signal if something starts going wrong?
We kick Carl in the kneecaps.
I think you'll know it. If I feel Harthos taking me over, I will compliment you on your armor.
Nice. Okay. But what if that distracts me because I just get excited by the compliment?
We will realise what's happening. You don't have to
Okay.
worry.
Speaking of that, at any point in the last hour we've been walking, has Elwyn mentioned anything
About
his slight change of opinion for a round? Because I think the only person who might have seen that is John. And did John see it? The getting charmed last week.
Oh. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Didn't I just get Oh yeah, I got charmed.
You got charmed for a round. Me,
Yeah.
I mean, I acted as if I'd seen it because I then went and smacked Cougar in the face to drop his concentration.
Yeah, but smacking him in the face was.
It was probably going to be the
that was
go-to
the plan
anyway.
anyway,
But,
But yeah, what got rid of it? Was that? Did he drop his concentration, or
Yeah.
was?
I hit him very, very hard with my sword.
So yeah, so I don't think unless you want to mention it, Elwyn, I don't think we know about that. I don't even know if you know about it.
I don't even know about it. I don't.
Cool.
I even forgot about it, to be honest.
I've literally been thinking about that all week. Yeah, I will cast Identify on the item. Ritually, obviously, because I haven't learnt it.
Con safe.
Yeah, you take hold of the ring, grasp it in the sort of palm of your hand as you begin to cast Identify. Remind me very quickly, did you identify the previous one?
Yeah.
You did, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, well, I wrote down all the information we got on session.
It
57,
carries charges and abilities to cast other spells, such as Suggestion, True Seeing, Dominate Person, and Death Ward.
Yeah.
I got what? Yeah, we got that.
Ring has. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Paste it.
Yeah. So you cast Identify, Carl.
Yep.
You quite quickly realise this ring is absolutely a partner to the other one. You get the same senses, the same sort of feelings on its use and its power. Again, it's definitely something that requires attunement, but is not. It's beyond the realms of just. Whereas normally a magic item, you could just spend a bit of time with it, like an hour, and kind of just attune to its use. There seems to be some other barrier or requirement to attune to this item.
Perhaps it just needs us to. It just takes longer, so maybe it's safe to use for a short while.
No.
Yeah, you carry on. You sort of grasp it in your hand, Carl. You have to hold it for a whole minute to sort of cast the
10, I think.
Was it 10 minutes? Oh yeah, you'll do it. Yeah, you are indeed. Yeah, and you slowly get the sense of it, and you even get some sort of again. I think previously you when you identified the previous one, you had this sense that the ring longed for something.
Yeah.
This one doesn't seem to be quite the same. If anything, this one seems rather than longing for something. This one it almost just gives off a sense of a fulfillment. As you carry on, sort of holding it in the palm of your hand over this sort of 10-minute period, getting a feel for it. You get something else as well, almost like an image in your mind's eye, I suppose. And you see Zerviel, the Uniter.
With the Uniter.
The Uniter.
Zerviel, the Uniter. Okay.
Yes. You see Zerviel stood alongside Leo on what looks to be a shoreline or a beach. It's dusk. It's the sort of sun has set. Hard to tell where they look to be, but looking from the general sort of area, it certainly doesn't look like the Unite is in Shate any longer. The sort of desert background, it doesn't look there. This looks like a far more sort of temperate area.
Yeah, he's coming. Well, we pretty much thought he was coming for us. Okay.
And then you actually see one more thing in your mind's eye. The last thing you see as you sort of carry on grasping, and just towards the end of the 10-minute ritual, you see and you recognise again this large, muscular form, which was Kulgar, this large orc which you did battle with previously, who struck you unconscious twice during battle. Stood over you a number of times, swinging that adamantine longsword at you. And again, as he was swinging at you last session, attempting to finish you off, he was speaking to you in a language you didn't understand, in Orcish, and again you can just. It's almost like you can hear those words again as you just see his form sort of speaking them to you. And that is it.
Sorry, what's he saying to me?
He was speaking to you in Orcish, but you do not.
Oh
speak
yeah,
Orcish,
I couldn't understand it. Oh yeah, I knew there was a reason why I didn't understand it. I will relay that to everyone else, with a slight change that I saw the Uniter on a beach with his dragon. But I will say that the rest of what I almost saw while looking at the ring, and yeah, this does look to be exactly the same as the other one.
But you said something about it being fulfilled. Sorry.
Yeah, this one's not longing. It feels fulfilled.
Could Bulgur still be alive? Did anyone actually check to see if he was dead?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, he was definitely dead. Arrows sticking out between the eyes.
Just not killing not disposing of the bodies properly.
But I wasn't there.
No.
I mean, Jake knows, but
Yeah, I know.
no one said that to me.
It's just occurred to me. We should perhaps drain the bodies. Oh well.
It's a different forest, right?
Yeah, it's a different forest. It's a different evil, probably.
It could be fine.
That was something specifically to do with Shadow Fae. To be fair, wasn't it? Like, that was that was them rising up as Shadow Fae, right?
But yeah, it was anything that died within the, well, as far as we know, within that forest, but certainly within that area. Oh well, it's
what it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's too late to do anything about it now.
So Carl will put the ring back in the middle, and then reach round to his bedding bundle is probably where it is, and from it, I'm going to draw a